The way we should think about the Qur'an in this context is it's an affirmation of the fact that the Qur'an is the perfect revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the perfect, most sacred speech of the divine. The Qur'an is impeccable. It's above reproach. And so very often when we come to think about the disposition that different believers and individuals have around their engagement with the Qur'an and how it resonates or doesn't resonate, so often it's really a function of the user. We don't tend to like to affirm this, but the reason why we don't resonate with the Qur'an often is because it's a user error. I'm not approaching the Qur'an with the spirit and the disposition that is required to unlock the ma'ani, to unlock the meanings, the spirit, the beauty, the wonder of the Qur'an. If we want to really model the best way of disposing ourselves in approaching the Qur'an, then we have to look at the way of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because if you go back to the story of the beginning of revelation, and you see how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was when receiving revelation, that gives you a lot of insight into how you and I have to position ourselves to receive revelation. The markers of that moment were the following. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. Did we not find you seeking? Did we not find you looking for? And then we guided you. The Prophet ﷺ was in a state of looking, searching, seeking, desiring, yearning. Imagine you're looking for your child who is lost in the playground. What happens to your senses? You literally can disconnect from the entirety of the reality around you. You can throw your wallet to the side, your phone. You will run across traffic. You will lose all sense of any type of basic consideration because you're looking for your child. And we've all kind of experienced ways in which when we're looking for something, how we may be, especially when we're in a distraught state, in an urgent state. Prophet ﷺ was urgently looking for a deeper, more profound meaning for this existence. He was unsettled. And so there is a disposition that is required that makes it that I am a miskeen, I am a faqir, I am someone who is in need. I need guidance. I need clarity. I need understanding. I don't have it, but Allah does. So what then does that, instill within me as a disposition? I think that's a critical way of entry. There's more about how the Prophet ﷺ, his disposition in that moment of surrender and submission and humility, that it was physical. Sayyidina Jibreel grabbed him. Prophet ﷺ says, Ma ana biqari, I don't know how to read. So he negates his abilities. I don't know, I don't understand. Like what? He becomes scared of Ghar Hira. So, he becomes spiritually submissive. So it's, a holistic submissiveness. It was physical by the grasp. It was intellectual, saying, I don't know how to read. It was spiritual in that he Sayyidah Aisha says, حُبِّبَ إِلَيْهِ التَّحَنُّث. He used to love to go to Ghar Hira, but that moment he became very scared of Ghar Hira. So there was this holistic submission of the Prophet ﷺ when engaging revelation. It was like, I don't know. And so then Allah tells him, اقرأ بِسْمِ رَبِّكَ. You read Bismi Rabbik. And this ba, the letter ba, is a very operative letter in this moment. Hisham says there's 17 meanings for the letter ba. And the letter ba, here it's like you bi'awnillah, bi'idhnillah, bismillah, in the name of Allah, by the aid of Allah, because of Allah, bisababillah, you read. And then when that happens, it begins to unfold. The ayat, it's the garden of beauty. It's ayat, its meanings, its spirituality, all of the, Qur'an al-shifa and nur and hidayah and all of these ideas that it's light and it's healing and it's guidance and it's clarity and its increase and its beautification. All of those realities of the Qur'an become unlocked billah. But you have to go to Allah with a certain disposition. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Al-Baqarah, He says, يُضِلُّ بِهِ كَثِيرًا وَيَهْدِي بِهِ كَثِيرًا. There's many people who are misguided by the Qur'an, and there are many people who are guided through the Qur'an. So that makes you very curious. Like, wait, a person can be misguided? No, because it all depends on how you're approaching. If I'm coming to the Qur'an with aggressive doubt and skepticism, or I'm coming to the Qur'an with apathy, or I'm coming to the Qur'an with arrogance, I'm coming to the Qur'an with dismissiveness. Sometimes, okay, your mother or your father or your sheikh tells you, go read the Qur'an. Fine, whatever. You kind of roll your eyes, you pick up the Qur'an, you start reading. Okay, I read it. It did nothing for me. What is the disposition of that user? What is the disposition of that reader? It's of course it's gonna be like a blockade, right? If you go and you're riddled with ideologies and philosophies that have colored your imagination, all the different isms, and then you go read the Quran and you say, A'udhu billah, oh my God, I can't believe the Quran says that. Why? Because I'm already predisposed with a certain ideology or philosophy that colors my imagination and my perception of right and wrong and good and bad. And then I'm now projecting onto the Quran goodness and badness. And so it can become a source of dalal. Why? Because I am impressing upon the Quran realities that are from top down. Whereas our disposition with the Quran always has to be, as we're on the bottom of the mountain and the Quran is the top of the mountain. So we're just kind of receiving. It's descending upon us. It's coming down to us. So it's so essential that when approaching the Quran, we assess our disposition. We do some muhasabah in what is the nature of the heart that is reading the Quran, the quality, the qualities, etc. Wallahu a'lam.